Alright, I'm on my first break. Let's hop into some games. It's going to be best to lead with the bishop. Not only does it put the bishop and the knight immediately on pre, now if for some reason he makes a blunder, I can fork the rook and the queen. It's a very interesting position. Take a snapshot of that, maybe share it with some of my chess buddies. Alright, so the idea is simple here. I mean, he's going to lead out on pawns. And might do something like that. 3 pawns for 3 pawns, so it'll be interesting. Might not go down exactly like that. Alright, I likely might do this as opposed to this. I also might castle after he moves his knight. Reason I would do that, because this pawn has 2 defenders so long as my queen stays there. Oh, actually I only need 1 defender. He could bring another one here. So, you know, we might see something like that. He's probably trying to do something like this. I'd simply castle. He might castle. Now again, taking the bishop is the wrong move because this can get dangerous considering the knight can come in here and deliver a checkmate. Well, the queen would deliver the checkmate. It's rare that I play positions like this anymore, but that's a position that I first learned. Alright, here we're going to try the Smith-Moore Gambit. Again, the idea is to sacrifice 2 pawns to develop 2 bishops. Now that's a little risky considering he can simply play this, but let's say he continues down this line. You know, I might castle, let him take another pawn. But now again, if he does this, I'm in trouble because if I get out of the way, he can then take the bishop. So I'd likely not castle. I'd likely play the knight here.
Excuse me. Really bad congestion. Ah, shoot. I forgot about that. Oh no, he set me up. That's actually not too bad. King has to step out of the way. So that's an even exchange on material after all is said and done. This disaster of a game. Actually gonna fall back with the knight. I like that idea. Reason I want to do that, if for some reason he fails to see this, I've got a fork, and if he decides to take the pawn at this junction, I have a fork. He can't likely do this. He could, however, do this. Then I'll take the bishop, probably take with the pawn, and I have to watch out for the rook. He might actually just take the rook there. So in this situation, I might want to step this guy over first, or maybe even come here to pressure the queen. Queen can't take the pawn because the knight has it defended. Those are some ideas. I'm going to have to come here with the king. Reason being, if I follow this guy back here to defend the queen from giving... Oh, I don't have to worry about that because my queen has that covered. Let's say I push a pawn, right? He's got check. Mate, that's checkmate. Okay. So the only way to prevent that is to step here.
Now if he comes here, I can take the knight. I'd probably go ahead and take out the pawns. We both would have an isolated pawn. So maybe I wouldn't do that. Give it some thought. But as it stands, he's going to have stacked pawns. Okay, now I have to watch out. There's a fork coming up here. If he plays knight to d3, that's a fork on my queen and my rook. Okay, I've seen this before. So I take the knight, he forks the bishop and the knight. Typically take with the bishop. Queen comes down. I do have an isolated pawn. Come back here and attack the queen. So that's one option. But I think I'm not going to go for that. Instead, I think I'm going to come here. See, now I wouldn't mind if he takes the knight. That actually helps me because I reconnect pawns. Alright, my alarm went off, so my brake's up. Gotta head in.